Let's talk about A Quiet Place, Day One. This film follows Sam, played by Lupita Nyong'o, as she goes looking for something in New York City and comes across Eric, played by Eddie from Stranger Things Season 4, and they end up sort of finding a bit of a connection, through this apocalypse. This film does confirm that the creatures, these sound creatures, are aliens. It doesn't really go into too much detail on that. We still basically know what we know about them from the other films. But they do find each other, and then they end up finding a bit of a friendship within that situation. And yeah, this is, I think, still a pretty good movie. There isn't like a bad film within this, I guess, series now. I do have, well, of course, my problems with the first two films, and I have my problems with this one. But this is overall a fairly solid series of films, and I will link my review of the first two films down in the description if you did not happen to see those. I reviewed them about 2 years ago. And yeah, I do really like Day One. I will say, I don't know how much connecting I did too much with Sam and Eric compared to like the family, because I feel like the family unit is a bit more like universally relatable. But I think you do understand Sam's motivations, and you do, to a certain extent, understand why Eric is the way that he is. These aren't super complex characters, neither really were the Abbotts, but it is good enough, and I think that this is still an entertaining movie. I will say it's as depressing as I figured it would be. I heard that they were going to do a Day One prequel, and I thought, well, this movie can't really... And just today, when I rewatched the first two, I was like, this movie kind of can't, like, end super great. Like, sort of the nice thing about these first two films are how oddly hopeful they are. They are still thrillers, and Michael Jackson would be proud of that, but these are fairly optimistic films. The first one ends with, now we have a way to fight these monsters, and two is about that hope that we can, bring that fight to a wider, to the wide world. And this movie is most certainly depressing. It most certainly is bleak. The color palette, just in contrast, is very different. I feel like at least two is a very warm film with its sun and its natural colors. This one's a lot more bleak. There's like cloudy, there's some cloudy scenes, there's some rain scenes, and just the overall grayness of New York City is very much in play here. That being said, there are some nice moments of levity, and one of my favorite parts actually does come towards the latter half of the film, as there is a bit of niceness to it. I most certainly think I'm going to probably rewatch this again soon, but I just really did appreciate what this film was trying to do. I think the director who did that Nicolas Cage movie Pig that I didn't watch, heard good things, but I don't know. Just didn't really seem like a me type of movie. I do feel like he does a good job here. Not replacing John Krasinski, but taking the place of John Krasinski. This is most certainly a different way of looking at this series, and I appreciate that. And I think that we could have more of these. I don't know if it would be called month one or like what they would call it, considering the fact that these two kind of take place like a year and a half, maybe 2 years into the invasion. I did the math, by the way, when I was watching the film. I was just like, okay, when do these take place? A year and a half, perhaps, or almost 2 years into the wasteland, the future, in the invasion, whatever you want to call it. I do think that there are more stories to tell in this universe, and I'm most certainly interested in seeing them, especially if they keep this level of quality up. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I do think hopefully 3 gives us a bit more in the way of, you know, pushing the story forward, but I wouldn't mind more of these spin-off films to perhaps flesh out the world and see how other people handled this waste, you know, this alien invasion, you know, because the first two films were about this small family on a farm in the middle of the woods and going beyond the woods. This film is the exact opposite. It even talks about how, I think, like, New York City's, it's loud, you know, its sound is like an average of like 90 hertz or something like that. That's the same octave range as a sustained scream. So I think we could do more with this type of idea of going somewhere else and seeing how these people react. I would most certainly love to see that. Comment below, let me know what you think of this film. Did you like it? Did you maybe dislike it? I will say this is probably, like, if I rank them, number 3, but then again, I think the first film is the best of this series. But yeah, just comment below, let me know what you think about this film, what you think about the first 2 films. I would love to hear it. And as always, remember, that God made you special. He loves you very much. So I hope you have a very lovely day. I hope you had a very lovely week. See you this Friday and Saturday for live streams. And as always, God bless you all and have a nice day.